So I've just talked about what this is, and I made this sort of blast wave and this light come out. So I'll show what pictures I used. So this is the lava field in Iceland. It's a black and white picture I took. And then I also had this picture of the sun. This is just a random picture of the sun. I'm not sure where it was. I just wanted a picture of the sun so I could use something to represent the light from the asteroid hitting the Earth. So if I go here, I can go on my PowerPoint presentation and talk about what I did here. Okay, so this first slide, the top one is so there's a flare effect there, but that's not the main reason. It's I think it's a distortion effect. Oh no, grain. Sorry, grain effect. I used. I wanted to have I wanted the photo to have a graininess on it to sort of add a bit of realism to it. Well, it's obviously not real, but still, I did that. Um, on using filters and all that. And then here I've got the sun picture, but I've put a ton of flare effects on it to really emphasize the bright light. I also changed the saturation from blue to this sort of pinky color as it was supposed to represent magenta, and that was the theme color of this specific picture. So here I've got the black and white image of the lava field in Iceland, and this is me just putting an overlay effect onto the sun to put it on top of the lava field, and then here I'm rendering clouds as well. I'm also showing where I get the lens flare effect from, where I render it from, and to show how I made those clouds just look like it's just whooshing from the impact point. And then here I'm just doing the final touches with the grain, and there we go. That's how I made the life piece. Next, we have Dragon Slayer. So Dragon Slayer, most of the I had a lot of influence from Roger Dean's what's it called, Elric and Moonglum, except I reversed it. I took one person out. I also I put the sword into the sheath, and I have the Dragon Slayer running away from the dragon. The idea behind this, the Dragon Slayer was hired by these clergy who've gone pissed off, well, gone annoyed with this dragon, who's decided to make a nest near a temple, this really religious holy temple, and he's unwelcome there. So they hired the Dragon Slayer to go kill it, but the Dragon Slayer overestimated his abilities and realized the dragon's way too big for him, and he's decided to run off away from the dragon. He's a really bad Dragon Slayer. He's not doing his job properly. So images I used was this church in Nimes, or this temple in Nimes, um, from the view of the arena. I decided to change this bit of the arena into an extra bit of the landscape. The background, I used this picture in of just a random location in France, in south of France, and I decided to change it with the saturation, made it more green. And then this is a picture of a gladiator that was around just explaining what the gladiators were doing in the arena. And I thought that's what I used to sort of help me make this soldier here, or how I had something to base it off. And then the actual dragon, I used an image from the internet of an Arctic tern to help me out with the creating of that dragon. So that's how I made that. Oh, To also sketch it onto the computer screen, I used a UG graphics tablet. Um, so I was able to sketch and see what I was doing on the computer screen. That's how I was able to do this. So this is the process. Go there. I do a trace of that because I thought I might do an actual like painting-esque kind of thing. With the clouds, I use content fill to make them repeat like that over and over again. I use the saturation tool to change the color to green. So yeah, I'm just sort of putting layers on top of each other. This gravel I've got here comes from I think it's a different one. I've got it somewhere. Yeah, I get it from this image here, which I also use this image for my third piece. But yeah, that's where the gravel comes from. And the trees in the background come from the French image, South of France image. I decided to have the temple appear inside of it, and I thought it had this nice effect to it. Made it look kind of slash drawn slash photographic, I don't know. So here's where I start doing the first sketches of the two main characters in this piece. So I'm just sketching over and over, just developing them. Sorry. I changed some of the angles where this Dragon Slayer was looking, the shape of the shield, amongst other things, and then moved them, and I started putting some colors onto them, and sort of merging the colors with the or smudging out the colors with the other colors to sort of make it look more smooth and oil painty. And then the final couple of processes, I got some other images, some texture images to give each image, the Dragon Slayer and the dragon, a bit more texture to them. To keep all of the colors inside, I had a mask so that nothing spills out of the images. So I kept all of the color inside, so it was easy to color things in when I did it. And then a couple of lens flare effects and a couple of corrections with curves and such with the clouds, and I made everything look more atmospheric like that. So that's how I made the Dragon Slayer.